There's only two types of people in this world. There's people who lose, and there's people who win. And it's hard to be a loser. It is hard to be a winner. Today I want you to make a decision to flip the switch inside of you from surviving to winning. It's time to win.
Use your willpower to start the process. Anybody can change. You don't have to repeat last year. Clean up the errors. Invest it now in the next year. Watch it make the difference.
If you can get up before the rest of the world is awake, right? Before the enemy's awake, you can get so much done. You're so much more productive.
When you're hit, when you've been knocked down by life, that's when it's time to hit back.
Whatever it takes, champion, to be the best of the best. Climb, I say, the unclimbable mountain. Kicking and punching, I just keep on pounding. Because I'm a warrior, and that's what we do.
Builds the character, the person you want to be at the end. Accept that. If you believe it, your body physically will find a way to make it happen.
They say, well, why you want to be great? I want to be great for me. I want to be great so them project babies can look in the mirror and say, I am too. I am special.
The way of the warrior, champion eyes. Get back up, my spirit rise. Fear dies, choked out by the screams. The desire to climb and live out my dreams. Take it for the team. Discipline reigns. I want it too bad to bow to pain. I'm a winner.
Think about what you want. Think about where you're heading and understand that along the way there's going to be huge moments of progress, huge moments of growth, huge moments that you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe I actually come through with this. I can't believe I got past this point. That all comes from you stepping into the uncomfortable. That comes from you stepping inside your fears. You can't get those moments of progress and growth without first initially stepping into the unknown, stepping into the uncomfortable. This is what you should be chasing.
I understand people that strive for more. I understand people that want something bigger and better. But at the same time, if you allow yourself to only think about what you don't have, to only be striving for something more, that obsession will begin to overtake you. It will begin to corrode you. As Thomas Edison said, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to always try one more time.
And one of the things that you've got to do is you've got to watch your inner conversation and discipline your thinking and your imagination, because if you don't, your mind will take you on a wild trip.
Do you let it be something that moves you backwards? Or do you recognize at least it was momentum, at least you were going, at least you tried, at least you were putting your energy into something, at least you were willing to take a risk? And that's where most people fail. They're never willing to put themselves out there because they don't see the momentum, they don't see the forward movement, they only see the failure.
Look, as best we know it, we have one life. In it, you have to trust your own voice, your own ideas, your honesty, your vulnerability, and through this you will find your way. You do not have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop. Live like this as best you can, and I guarantee you will look back on a life well lived.
And so if instead of rejecting it because your feet must stay planted on the ground, remember that in keeping your feet on the ground, that's the moment of action. That's the moment of doing something about it. That's the moment of seeing the fucking possibilities and then moving, doing something, making it real.
I know what the grind is like. I was homeless. I ate out of trash can. Now Go on the internet right now. I'm one of the #1 speakers in the world.
You've chosen to stand still. Instead of that, convince yourself that you should be moving. Go do what you know you're destined to do.
And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm gonna grind.
If you're going to be uncomfortable, your reward has to be big.
You finally made it to the big league, and now you want to chill? Now you got the big head? Now you can't grind? You here now. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim.
So many people do. We live in a very weakened society. So when they hear a throwback guy like me from back in the ancient days of Garanimals, they often think this guy is just whatever. So if you think that I'm some unhappy guy, you're wrong. Having lived the life I've lived and seeing the other side, not being afraid to attack what was in front of me has made me happy. Basically, I just don't walk around with a daggone smile on my face all the damn time. So, Merry Christmas. But basically what the dark side is we all have a cookie jar and we all have a jar of
That's its official name.
It's a jar of man, where it just ain't going right. And in Hell Week, what they do in Hell Week, because this is where I really went to the dark side. What they do in Hell Week is they design Hell Week to find your flaws. And they do a really good job of that. It's 130 hours of continuous training. You may get 2 hours of sleep. And they beat the shit out of you and find everything wrong with your mentality. And then they start Hell Week. And that's the beauty of it.
If you've never had anything like today, I would go, okay, I'm selling. I can't give up the house,
right.
But if you don't have the house, you don't have anything, and then you're just sitting there and you go, okay, I wrote this for myself, and I don't even know if it's that good, but if obviously someone likes it, I'll regret it. I know I'll regret it. And I bet I say it once a week. I walk around and I say, thank God.
Really?
All the time. All the time. It's like you did one thing right. In life, you can do 1,000 things wrong. You just do one thing right. You go, whew. Wow. It makes up for the other 999 mistakes sometimes.
And for me, I'm not some nasty God-given guy. I don't have a great bit of talent in anything. So what got me through horrible times was the dark side. My name is David Goggins. I created Goggins. Goggins is the guy that can take anything you put in front of him. You want to break my legs? So be it. I have a way of going to a place like I did in that race where all the pain and suffering that they put on top of me in Hell Week, I will reverse that pain and suffering and I will take your soul. So every instructor that put me through BUD/S, my job, what drove me was I wanted you to go home that night after you beat the living shit out of me and I smiled in your face. I wanted you to feel worse than I did and you were going home to a nice warm bed with your wife or your kids and a nice meal and I was still out there in the grip, suffering for another 100 hours. I wanted you to think about me knowing that I'm comfortable being very uncomfortable. And I want you to think about when you went through Hell Week, how uncomfortable you were and how bad you wanted to quit, knowing I'm not thinking that way. So the dark side is something that I've designed. It's an evil place I can go that very few things can hurt me. I use the hurt you're trying to put on me, I flip it upside down and use it. You trying to use it for kryptonite? No, it's power pillars for me. I'm using it for strength. I just flip negative into positive, that's all it is.
When I found some place in my country and a lady answered the telephone, I then asked, to whom am I speaking? She said, you're speaking to me. I said, well, lady, I know I'm speaking to you, but what's your name? She said, who are you to ask for my name? What's your name? I say, well, lady, as soon as you tell me your name, I'll tell you mine. But as we argued as to who should tell his or her name, she became very cross. And she said, you seem to be a backward person. Have you passed your matric? Now, matric in our country is a university entry examination. And I said, well, lady, you must be very careful. Because if the qualification to speak to you is the possession of a matric certificate, I might work hard and pass my matric and be in the same class as you are. That was treason. She said, you will never be in my class, and bang the telephone. How I wish she were here today. She would now discover that I have achieved more than pass my matric.
Everybody that's successful lays a blueprint out. You laid the blueprint out. I can go down a list from comedians to actors to entrepreneurs to self-made moguls. You look at Russell Simmons, you look at Jay-Z, you look at Tyler Perry, you look at Puff. You're looking at people that start off with a small vision, and that vision manifested into something beyond expectation. So what I did was, from the people around me, my mentors, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Pryor,
who are all on the walls.
All on the walls.
Yeah.
All on the walls.
So you surround yourself with that.
I surround myself with a constant reminder of who's great. Constantly. I come down these steps every day, I look at Richard, he's great. I see Eddie, he was great. I see Chris Rock, he was great. It's a constant reminder, what am I trying to achieve? I want to be great. So that motivates me. So the thing that separates me is my drive. My drive is other people's success.